Take 3,000, Alan. Try and intro this podcast without sounding like Andy Peters.
Impossible. Welcome back, everyone. You can't say welcome back without sounding like a presenter. Welcome back, everyone.
With the hands.
Welcome back to 5 times to the Digital Circus Life, the small business podcast. Today, we have just exited out of a Digital Circus session with Acrobats, the new cohorts, where we were doing part 1 of Foundations. There's a lot there. But basically, it's the online visibility community, and the first part is about optimizing what you put online. So much came out of it that we thought we'd share and give you some of the tips that we were handing over to the acrobats at the Digital Circus this morning. Go, Emily.
The thing is, we fully appreciate when we start a membership like the Digital Circus and talking about optimization, and our big premise is that we don't like to talk about jargon too much. We need it to be as simple and as efficient.
I think I've just reeled off about 20 jargony type words.
Absolutely. And the whole point is we make it as simple as possible. And when you start something like optimization as a piece, as our first module, it is so super important to cover that off in the first instance. It's huge. It's a huge topic. But when you get your head around it, not only does it help you understand your relationship with Google, not only does it help you understand what you show up for, it helps you understand what your social media should be. It helps you understand your buy. There's so many things that you do already in your business that this sometimes is the missing piece. And I think that was true today, that we have businesses in the new cohort of the Digital Circus who have been established for a little while now. They're not just brand new startup businesses. They've been running their businesses for a length of time who never knew this thing.
Right. Well, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going way back, many centuries ago. No, not with Joseph in his Technicolor Dreamcoat. So before Yellow Tuxedo started with us, we had another business, right? And we moved everything, all our marketing online. We did what we did now. We teach people now, but we didn't quite know. And someone once said to us, no one else knows how to do what you guys are doing. And we turned around and went, that's really interesting, because we can't work out why no one else is doing it.
Yeah.
So here it is. This is some of the stuff, some of the bits to get going on all of that.
Today's session started quite simply, apart from understanding what Google is. And the biggest takeaway is that Google, the big robot in the sky somewhere, wherever it is, in the cloud, or this invisible robot, is a very intelligent beast. It's very intelligent. However, it is not a mind reader. It cannot and will not ever, I don't care how far advanced AI gets, it will not be in your head if that's the only place the information is stored. Yeah. So we need to really amplify what we stand for by telling the robot in the first place. And keyword strategy, without doing an entire podcast on keyword strategy.
Keyword strategy.
Is the backbone to that, because you need to have at least a ballpark understanding. And we hear it time and time again. I want to get to the first page of Google. And we always go, for what? That's how long is a piece of string. There are too many things it could be.
We need to back up once more, because someone is going to be listening to this going, it's irrelevant. I'm all in on LinkedIn. I have absolute money down that someone listening or watching has just said that into their head.
Well, do you know what, Alan? Because this is one of the comments. Before we start any podcast recording, we clearly have a plan. We were talking about what conversations do we have.
We have a plan.
Never have a plan. Let's bring it alive, standard. But we're talking about networking and how, a lot of the people we work with have gone all in on networking as part of their main strategy for getting clients through the door. And A, that's not wrong. Fantastic. Well done, you. But B, there are other ways to do that. And networking is not the only answer to you getting clients through the door.
And it should be supported by what we teach, Foundations, as well, shouldn't it?
And it was a great example. We had a member in the circus today. One of the activities was Google, not just your business name, because that's super important. At least you should be on the first page for your business website. And if you're not, that needs some work. But B, your personal name as well, because Alan quite rightly pointed out to her, you may go, we have a member in the Digital Circus who met me at a networking event a year ago. Not spoken to him for a year, but found us, luckily.
He literally just popped in we opened the doors, didn't we? I was like, who's that? And Emily's like, I think I met him a year ago.
Yeah. And the thing is, they may recognize your face. They may know, they do that thing with online visibility. They may not quite remember your brand name. And I would hope Yellow Tuxedo sticks because we wear a lot of yellow. I've got a little bit of red on today, but wear a lot of yellow. And
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Oh, it's really cold. It's really cold in here. But they may go, oh, do you know what? I met Emily Braithwaite. I might just Google her and see what comes up. And hopefully our business, and luckily it does. But it's understanding that people who meet you at networking may not want to talk to you for a little while. And just because you have a business card doesn't mean that they're always going to keep that business card or find that business card that they should have stuck to their fridge waiting to be used. They may use that little thing called Google to try and get to where you are.
Actually, the chap who joined, he also said, I wasn't ready. It took me a year to be ready for this stage in my business. And that's so relevant. We can't predict those things, but we can play into them. So let's back up, right? We said we wanted to share something that we can't work out why not everyone else is doing. We've talked about the why. The why is whatever your core marketing efforts are, whether they're networking, whether they're content, whether they're social media, whatever you choose, audience building, fundamentally, you need to appear on the search engines, and that includes YouTube, that includes whatever.
Pinterest, LinkedIn.
You need to be showing up for who you are, what you do, and your kind of business name. So if anyone's ever looking for you, because trust us, way more people use Google than go networking, right? As an example. You need to be able to show up for those things because then it works. I don't know why I'm tapping myself on the arm like a kind of...
Some sort of NFT
kind of. I know. NFT? Not that's near non-fungible, whatever. Anyway, so
what is the tapping thing?
I don't know. You're entering a world I'm nervous about. What's that
people
called?
Are tapping when they... I can't think what it's called.
Not EFT.
EFT, no.
That's like a card transaction.
Oh.
What's it called, please? The tapping. Let us know in the comments. Yeah. So you need to be there because conversations happen. You've met people who haven't quite remembered your name or they remember part of it and they're trying to find you. So you need to show up. Fact. Okay. That's it. And what tips are we giving?
What tips? So first and foremost, if you have a website, you need to be really looking after that piece of that. It's an amazing asset that you own that you could be doing so much more with. And time again, I hear I'll get round to it. It's not really a good example of it's not really a shop window to what I do. Well, it is a shop window and you need to be making sure that it does the thing you need it to do. So
should be what you're paying for it. Get it working for you.
Get it working better for you.
Yeah, do your keyword strategy, optimize your website.
Understand that actually outside of your network and people in your sort of extended network, there's a wide world out there of people who don't know you yet, who may be that customer that you need in your life, who may be, I don't know, in Japan, in New Zealand, in America, who don't know you from your core network. So thinking about widening your audience. So
can I handle an objection? I reckon someone may say in their head.
Yeah.
I reckon someone will go, but I don't want organic leads because they don't know me and I have to work harder. Well, if they enter your ecosystem, the whole point of that model is they get to know you. So by the time they come through to the conversion, which is the inquiry or the sale, they've already decided that you could be right for them through the content you put out because they found you. Yeah. So that whole process becomes much easier, simpler, never easy.
So understanding keyword strategy is huge as well, because again, for an example, we have Digital Circus members who started their adventure with us. I'm so sorry, Alan, hit me.
Well, I'm not doing it on camera. I do it when no one's looking.
Honestly. What you're trying to rank for. So, for example, you're not ranking for business coach. If you are going out or you're starting a brand new business and you want to be top of Google page 1 for business coach, you've got a long slog ahead of you because that's not specific enough. It doesn't tell you exactly what it does on the tin. You don't really understand the intention behind that. And really, there are millions of people out there who think they are business coaches, whether they're accredited or not. They're using the word coach. So thinking about...
Look at you taking on the unaccredited. Honestly, you are brave today.
I'm feeling a little bit brave.
You're taking on the tappers, the unaccredited coaches.
Well,
honestly.
I feel strongly. I do feel strongly and I don't care. But ultimately, what kind of coach are you? Are you a confidence building coach? Are you a coach for female entrepreneurs? Expanding on what that is. So at least you have a fighting chance of being on a search term for a first page for a search term that has some sort of oomph behind it. Secondly, are you talking to Google? Are you attached to things like Google Search Console? Are you talking to Google Analytics? Are you at least understanding how people are interacting with your website? Or are you doing that thing where you go, oh, I just assume because I think this is how people are talking to me? You're making assumptions. And actually, things like Search Console and Analytics are your best friend because they give you black and white fact. You have the ability to be creative over here, but actually that needs to be underpinned by the black and white fact of how people are interacting with you and what they need from you.
Yes. Well, I actually think that's enough to start, because if we go any further, we are entering the world of too much, aren't we?
Too much.
So we've given
if you need to know more, you should just come and get involved with Digital Circus.
We've given you the what, we've given you the why, and the kind of, we can give you as much how as we can, which is do your keyword research, understand who you are, what you're going to show up for. Optimize your website so it's working for you, and connect it to Google so Google will help you along. I mean, whatever you might think of the large corporation, interesting, but Google never gets a hard time, but like other companies do.
I'm sure it does.
I don't know. I might need to Google.
Why am I so right? It's not going to tell you that, is it?
And just get it working. Opportunities happen. Audiences grow. New connections come along. Connections validate you. So much happens from it, right? But if you're not doing it, you've got to be in it to win it.
You do. And my final point on that
so not my final point.
It is kind of, but I think people stay away from this part of their online visibility and they stick to things that they know, like LinkedIn and Instagram and social media and stuff like that, because that's tangible. And we're told by the powers that be out there that SEO as a term is black magic, and it's not black magic. It's clearly logic sometimes of thinking, there's a robot who's going to help me grow my business, but it's not a mind reader. So therefore, I need to feed it as much information as I can that is logical to me and my business. And if you can do that, you can solve world peace, I think.
All right, you can have that as an ending. I'm going to be honest. One final thing. Final thing.
But I've done the final thing.
I know, but mine's a different final thing. I'm more worried that you're going to hit me off camera today. I'm going to be honest. I feel that's more likely to happen. If anyone's ever wondering who is the alpha in this relationship,
totally me. That's okay.
Right, it's up for debate. Okay.
The alpha,
I couldn't think of a better word.
With your preened beard.
As our 9-year-old said to me, Dad, I'm the alpha. And I was like, fat chance, son.
He sat last thing. Sits there watching back-to-back Benson Boone videos going, oh, maybe I need a romper suit and maybe I need a moustache.
I am not
the
alpha.
Definitely not the alpha.
Yeah, I think, what's his space? Moustache and yellow romper suit coming soon. Let us know in the comments if you've A, watched this far, and B, you'd like to see me with a yellow romper suit and moustache a la Benson Boone.
No one needs that in their life. Goodbye, everyone.